Welcome to the Bourbon Case Files. I'm Nick, and I'm here with Mike today.
Mike Vaughn.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, glad to have you. So Mike is our senior trial attorney. And how long have you been practicing law?
I don't know, over 20 years. Yeah,
Over 20 years?
Yeah, doing a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, lots of trials.
Lots of trials. Lots of trials. That's my gig, man. That's my gig. I love trials. That's where I'm alive.
That's great.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to find something that moves you.
It does. It's a calling.
I love that.
But you know what I like about trials is like you get to think on your feet. You got these rules, right? Here's the rules of evidence. Here's the rules of procedure. Here's the judge bearing down on you, right? You've got to follow all these things. But then you've got to adjust. You've got to make adjustments, and you've got to change things up, and you got to think creatively, but within the rules. That's what I like about it.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's great. It's amazing how you have this plan, and then the judge makes a ruling, and you're like, pivot.
That's right.
It's something completely different.
You know what it's, you know who made the best adjustments ever as a football coach was Bill Belichick. And so that, but they had Tom Brady, of course, and they had a great team, but Belichick made the adjustments at halftime. And trial work is like that. You have to be able to make the adjustments at trial. And if you can make the adjustments at trial, you're better off, your client's better off to have a more successful trial if you can do it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, thanks for coming on today. We'll talk a little bit more
Happy
about the
to be
law.
here all the way from downstairs.
That's right. That's right. You walked all the way upstairs in our building. And we're gonna do Four Roses single barrel today. Four Roses. So have you ever had Four Roses before?
I have not.
Okay. And I know you're a rum guy.
I am. I'm a novice bourbon guy.
Okay, so I won't go crazy with the pour here.
So this would be like if it was a surfing podcast, and I'd never been surfing. I mean, I am just saying, I'm not a bourbon guy, but I'm interested.
Okay.
Yes.
So Four Roses single barrel. This is very much a weekly sip for me.
Okay.
This is one you could walk into any liquor store around town, find it. It's reasonably priced.
Right.
And for the price, phenomenal taste.
Okay.
Very good. It's pretty darn smooth, but it does give you flavor. It's not so smooth that you're like,
what kind of flavor
there's nothing there.
Getting?
Man, you're going to get some cinnamon.
All right. I like cinnamon.
Take a smell of it here.
All
Let's
right.
see.
Is there a technique to do this?
I mean,
You know how wine drinkers do this thing?
I mean, there probably is. I wouldn't say I'm not that sophisticated.
It smells good.
But, there's going to be, it's going to have like a fruity flavor, I feel like.
Take a sip.
Mm-hmm. So that's drinking it neat.
Neat.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. Like we didn't do any water to open it up.
Yep.
Didn't do a cube.
Oh, I feel a little heat going down.
You always do.
Yeah.
You always do.
So like if I'm having a cocktail at night, I come home a long day.
Yep.
Is this the kind of thing I'm keeping open just for a casual cocktail? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
This is, I'll come home, day at work. My wife and I are hanging out making dinner.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna pour a bourbon and put it on the rocks and just kind of sip it while we chat about our day.
All right.
There's it's
Is it about the normal fill right there? Yours.
No,
Not so much mine.
I probably go. I probably go a little more than that. It all depends.
Right.
Are we having wine later with dinner, or am I drinking bourbon all night, or
Right.
am I just having a little taste to kind of,
I gotcha.
just
All right,
just
very
depends. But the cube will take a little bit of that burn away,
Okay.
kind of dilute it a little
I
bit.
definitely felt the burn.
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, it's
To be honest
good.
with
It's good.
Oh, it dies definitely diluted a little bit.
Yep. And I like it cool. We're in Florida.
Yeah.
It's hot. So
When we were coming back from lunch today, it was 100 degrees.
it was
100 degrees.
I know.
People. Felt like 179. All right. It was 100 degrees.
It's one of those days in Florida. You walk outside and instantly you sweat through your suit.
So I used to work for this insurance company, right? And they provided a company car. This is a long time ago. And the company car was great. And so, but the problem was the windows weren't tinted. and I really wanted to get tinted windows. So you had to go through the corporation and to get all the tinted windows. And so I had to call this place in Michigan. That's where the company cars were like handled out of. Like I forget what they call it when you've got a fleet, like fleet management. And so she goes. I said, "Oh, hi. Oh, you're up in Michigan." She goes, "That's right, just south of Canada." And I said, "You know what? This is Mike in Florida, just north of Cuba. I need to get my tinted windows."
And she was from the Midwest, and so she was probably very pleasant to deal with.
She
got
was
you
very
taken care of.
and got me taken care of.
Yes,
Yes.
that sounds about right.
That was a long time ago, but I did get the windows tinted. So, going on the whole heat thing, and it's really hot in Florida. I don't know where you guys are listening, where the listeners and watchers are, but it is hot, hot, hot in Florida.
So
that's good.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Good,
I do like it.
good. So I know one night you sent me a text and you're like, "Hey Nick, what bourbons should I grab for my bar to just kind of have in case people come over that are bourbon drinkers?"
Right.
And this was one of the ones I told you.
You did.
Four Roses has almost like a cult-like following. Like the people that are really into Four Roses, and because it's their recipe is interesting. So they have 2 different mash bills, and that's the amount of corn and the other ingredients, whether rye, barley, how much they put in by the percentages, and then they have 5 different yeasts that they use for their bourbon, and so they have 10 different recipes. And so this one is the OBSV, okay? And the OBSV is the recipe. And we'll have, it'll be great at some other point. We'll have a bunch of the single barrels with all the different recipes, and we'll do like a blind tasting.
Yes.
See which one everyone likes the best.
Yes.
That one will be really good. And this is the.
What is? Do you going to tell me what OBSV means?
Yes. So O is on all of theirs. That just means it's Four Roses Distillery. So that's what the O is.
All right.
The key ones are really the B and the V. Okay. So the B is which mash bill it is. It's one of the 2 mash bills. It's E or B.
All right.
Okay. B, 60% corn, 35% rye, and that would make it 5% barley. I'm trying to do the math here in my head. So that's B. E is 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% barley. Okay, so B is the higher rye.
Okay.
So that's why the OBSV is considered like a fruity rye.
Let me ask you this. From a bourbon kook, all right? I don't.
Yeah.
Are you actively looking at those letters and things when you're purchasing this, or when you're deciding what to drink at night?
Yes.
You do?
I don't know. I have a problem, clearly. But
that's probably like going, "Hey, you surf. Do you have fins on your surfboard?" Yes, I do. No, but you look at that.
You do, because as you've sampled more and more, you see everyone has their own palate, right? And everyone's like, "What do I like?" And so you figure out which recipe of these you like. And you're like,
"Oh, okay."
So when I go in a store, I'm looking for the one that I like. And it may be different for everyone.
Most stores have all their versions?
No.
Oh.
No. This one here, you're going to find in every store. Okay. This is their standard single barrel. The other recipes that they do they're just harder to find. They're not as common. They're not rare. You can locate them, but
can you get them online?
The answer is 100% yes.
Yeah.
The question is, how much are they marked up? Because a lot of these places, something's hard to find, and they take a $45 bottle of bourbon and they want to charge you $150 for it, and it's insane.
Is this the most popular one because the taste is more enjoyed by everybody, or is it just why are some more available than others?
The volume.
Yeah.
So it all depends on how long they age the barrels, how long the distillery's been around. Mm-hmm. Barrels that are aged longer there tends to be more of what they call the angel share, which is kind of the level that may disappear.
Right.
With evaporation, through the aging process. So there's going to be less of it. And patience. It takes patience if you're going to age something 15, 20, 30 years, right?
I mean, they're literally in these barrels for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, they're and as you can imagine, if you're the owner of the barrels, you're saying, hey, I made this bourbon. I'm going to wait 23 years to be able to sell it and make money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
When a lot of the bourbons out there are 4, 6 years old, and you're like, man, I can sell these then. I'm not going to make as much, but I can start making a profit. And so this is typically, I think, 7 to 9 years aged, which is a very good age. Like that's.
Where's it from?
So this is from Kentucky.
Oh, because all bourbons are from Kentucky.
No.
Right? No?
So that is most bourbons.
Like I heard you got something in Hawaii.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
okay,
I did.
yeah.
I got to have Zach on for that when we open that up. If you want to be involved, I'll absolutely have you be involved. But we did get a bourbon when we were in Hawaii. We're going to open it up. Bourbon has to be from the U.S.
Okay.
To be bourbon.
Yep.
It has to be more than 50% corn.
So no European bourbon.
Nope.
No South American bourbon.
Nope.
Just U.S.
Nope. They can be whiskey. They can be Scotch.
Yeah.
But 95% of all bourbons are in Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I've been there.
You been there?
I had. Well, my grandparents.
Yep.
They used to live up there.
Okay.
Yeah, by Fort Knox, Radcliffe. My grandfather was a retired major in the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they.
Thank you for his service.
Yeah, he shot down all kinds of crazy stuff, but World War II style. But they retired in Radcliffe, which is by Fort Knox, where the gold bullion is kept. And their next door neighbor was actually the guy who ran the big fort, the big gold bullion building. Yeah, it was really
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, so Kentucky, but oddly enough, it was a dry county. Yeah, right. So
Which is so weird to hear, but I mean,
I know, right?
I mean, I guess that's at that time was probably Southern Baptist.
I guess so. I just remember when they would have to go to Vine Grove, wherever that is. If you're from Kentucky in this area, you probably know it, but they'd have to go from Radcliffe to Vine Grove to buy alcohol.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But my wife's from Kentucky.
No, I didn't know that.
So she was born in Louisville.
Yeah.
Her family's up there. I have to deal with her brother and dad, and I'm a Kentucky Wildcat fan, and I'm a Louisville Cardinal fan. I'm just like, well, we're Florida Gators. So.
Right.
But yeah, so that's where she's from before they moved to Florida. So.
Boy, that's still got the kick to it.
Yeah.
But it's good though.
It is. It is. I feel like this is definitely one. This one my wife will enjoy.
Is this accessible to newbies like me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
I made sure when I was going through my bottles to pick one out.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure I picked out a bottle that I'm like, if Mike likes this, he can easily get it.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to do was grab one of my bottles that's really impossible to find and be like, oh, I love this. Where can I get it? I'm like, oh, you can't.
Yeah. Excuse me. Once a year sale.
Yeah. It's like, because, I mean, unfortunately, some of these bourbons you can only get on the secondary market unless you're lucky enough to walk into the store on the day it was delivered. And there's people out there that literally follow delivery trucks around.
Really?
So that as they're unloading it, they go into the store and say, hey, I see you got this. Can I buy it?
Can I get this? So if I were to buy this, can I go, I don't know, and be in Montana or New Hampshire and get it? Or is it a Southern thing or everywhere? Huh?
Yeah. This is, I mean, at least everywhere I've been. But just about every liquor store I walk into, they have it. Usually it's $45 a bottle. Very reasonably priced in my mind.
Yeah.
And it's one that you can make an old fashioned with. Mm-hmm. It's one that you could sip on the rocks. And so it's kind of easy going and
Can I look at it? Let's look at the bottle. Single barrel. What does that mean? I am really new.
I mean, you are. So
I'm asking what single barrel is.
Okay, so to break it down, so that means this all comes from one barrel. Okay. Every bottle of this exact one they took one barrel and they made it. Now, Four Roses has small batch,
Right.
which means they may take five barrels and they kind of mix them all together. Maybe 10. What the small batch does is it makes it more consistent, right? It makes it, hey, now we're blending, so we're gonna have this bigger dispersion that we can sell.
Right.
That's all gonna taste the same. Every one of these bottles may be a little unique. You may taste a little bit of difference.
Right.
You know, you may get a barrel that has a unique flavor and it aged in that barrel, and so it tastes a little bit different than another bottle.
You know, they've got this intricate artwork on here too.
They do.
Sometimes with these bottles with this intricate artwork, it's hard to throw them away. Listen, they had this rum. And I know it's Bourbon Case Files, but I'll tell you a quick story about a rum.
You can tell us about
It was Kirkland. It was the Costco brand of rum. And I was convinced they just took Captain Morgan, like black or private stock, and dumped it in these Kirkland bottles. But the inside of the Kirkland bottles had an intricate ship on it, like a sailing ship, like the 1700s sailing ship. So here was this, $15 bottle of rum with this fabulous bottle and this intricate sailing ship etched in on the inside. It was wild. I couldn't believe they did it. They've changed it now and they've gone plastic. But, those bottles were so nice. And
they probably spent more on the bottle than the rum.
They probably did. I'm serious. But look at this. I like this, the little art,
Yep.
The Four Roses artwork on it. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah.
So this one that you enjoy.
I'm liking it so far.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sipping on it. Bourbon.
I mean, I wouldn't do this before you go surfing.
No, I don't drink before I surf.
That's fine. So you're a surfer.
I am a surfer.
How long you been surfing?
My whole life.
I
started when I was about 8.
Okay.
And I still do it all the time. Next week, there's going to be waves.
You were telling me.
We got a storm coming through.
I mean, I feel like we need to find an excuse to get out there in the morning and do some surfing before we work.
I like that.
All right.
I like that idea a lot.
Okay.
I do it anyway.
I mean, why not? I just need an invite.
Yeah, you have an open invite. I've got about 30 surfboards at my house.
Good.
Everything from a 5'10" quad fish to a 9'8" single fin log. I mean, that's everything. I just got everything.
So did I tell you when I got rid of my surfboards?
You did not.
So I grew up surfing.
Okay.
My good friend Charles, who by the way introduced me to bourbon. Shout out to Charles. There we go.
Charles is still surfing though.
So Charles introduced, we were in high school, and we were in different crowds, hung out in different crowds, but he surfed. Mm-hmm. And I was your typical jock guy that played a bunch of sports, and we became friends. I want you to teach me to surf. And he was like, I'll teach you to surf if you teach me to do weightlifting. And so he ended up joining the weightlifting team, got his varsity letter. He ended up being a groomsman at my wedding, one of my best friends. I've known him ever since. Wonderful wife, great son, awesome person. Get to see him all the time. They're up in Charlotte. But he and I started surfing together in New Smyrna.
Yeah.
Shark bite capital of
that's right.
the U.S. And I had boards that I floated on and surfed on all through high school, college, and my wife and I bought our first house, and of course, I mounted them on our family room wall, right above the couch.
She's like, "This is not marriage decor, buddy."
Because that's where they're supposed to be, right. and they were there, and we had our daughter, and they were still there, and we're building our second house and about to move in, and she's like, I don't think these are really family room, decor.
Right.
And I'm like, and I started thinking, I'm like, at that point, I hadn't surfed in a couple of years.
Right.
So I'm like, you're right. Like, I haven't surfed in a couple of years. We live in Orlando. We're not near the beach. I'll sell them. So I had like a 6'2" Almeric.
Yep.
And a 9'6" Stewart.
Look at you. Pulling the Merrick and the Stewart out.
Yeah, and I sold them both.
Yeah.
And I look back, and I don't have a lot of regrets in life, I really wish I still had that Stewart.
I bet you do.
I don't know if my weight could float on that 6'2" Almeric anymore.
Well,
I may need a little bit bigger. But that Stewart, I wish I had.
With the right volume, you could. Like, I still ride 5'11". I still ride 6 foot. I've got different fish and all kinds of different stuff. But with the right volume, you could.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're not a heavy guy anyway, so you
No.
can definitely any standard 6'2", standard thrusters type setup would most likely float you well. Yeah.
So we went to Hawaii this summer, and my daughter took surf lessons, and now she loves it. And now she's like, Dad, when are we going surfing? And I'm like, oh, I get to buy a surfboard again.
There you go.
Like, if she gets back into it, Saturday morning she wants to go out and go surfing.
Listen,
why not?
I got a house with at least 30 boards sitting over there. Half of which I'd let you use.
I appreciate that. Listen, I'm going to take you up on it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
You should.
Yes.
You should.
I think we're probably good for today. I appreciate you being on, Mike. Thank you.
Not like I had a choice. My boss says, come upstairs. No, I'm happy to do it. I'm really, truly.
I mean, I did. I said, hey, rum drinker, you're going to come drink bourbon,
right.
and you're going to like it. So
we're going to call it, you can call this featuring Mike Vaughn, a.k.a. very basic questions about bourbon. Right? It's almost a 101 class.
But we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you all for stopping by. Please follow us, give us a like. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
See ya.